How's it going? It is finally time for the GM mode with the Legends, and I know exactly who I am going to pick. I was thinking about doing them last time, but I couldn't quite make a huge decision on them. I decided to go with Arizona, but this time I'm going to be taking the Vancouver Canucks, and they will be my team for the GM mode. Now, obviously, you got Daniel and Henrik Sedin, but along with them, you got Marcus Naslund as their legend player at 20 years old. And always, we got to go with 10 years, not a fantasy draft, authentic cap penalties on, CPU trades on, difficulty superstar, hardcore. Oh, let's draft pick ownership. I'm going to go with authentic, hardcore game style, injuries off. The salary cap shall stay on. Period length 20 minutes. Trade difficulty on hard. Waivers are on. In advanced settings, assistant coach. Edit lines no. And I think that is it. Now, unfortunately, I cannot turn off retired player numbers. So, unfortunately, all of these legends will not be their normal numbers. Unfortunately, even though I spent a bunch of time trying to do that. So anyway, there are all the settings. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. We can take a look at the team and kind of establish what we want to do here. Keep the salary cap on, and there we go. Now, I think having the Sedins and Naslund on a line is going to be amazing. I think that line is going to produce a lot. But next year, I know the Sedins are going to drop off, and they're going to be like 85 overall, but they won't retire. So we need to decide what we're going to do, and I'm going to go ahead and put in a rule right now. We cannot trade the Sedins. That's the only rule. Legend players, obviously you can trade them, but I mean, why would you want to? So yeah, I think that's about it. I can't trade for a legend player, I should say that. If I want to trade Naslund, I can, but I cannot try and trade like both the Sedins for Gretzky or whatever. I cannot do that. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this roster. View contracts. There we go. Now, a bunch of college players have been signed so far. I decided to not go ahead and create any college players that have been signed. Thatcher Demko being a big one, who is actually signed by Vancouver, mostly because there's a shit ton of college players that have been signed, like a lot. And for me to go through and create every single one, that would take so long to do. I'm just not willing to take the time to do that. But anyway, at center, we got Henrik Sedin, 34 years old, 88 overall. He's obviously our first signed center. He signed for $7 million for the next 3 years. We got Bo Horvat at 84 overall and 20 years old. This guy's going to be nothing but good for us. Probably be our second line center. It's in between him and Brandon Sutter. They got him from Pittsburgh this past year, I believe. He's a pretty solid player. A great third liner, in my opinion. And then Lyndon Vay, 24 years old, playmaker. I can't really say too much about him. I don't really know him that well. But I don't think he will have a spot in the future on our team. Now going over to the left wing, we got Marcus Naslund, high franchise potential, same as every other legend. You see his stats there. So yeah, I can't really say too much about him. He was a great player. He's small and he's got talent just like the Sedins. And speaking of the Sedins, we also have Daniel Sedin here, also on the left wing. He'll probably play left wing, and I might switch Naslund over to the right wing. But anyway, 34 years old, signed for $7 million, same as his brother, for the next 3 years. Alexander Burrows, 83 overall, a really good fourth line guy, although he will probably end up being on our third line. So yeah, he's a pretty solid player. Emerson Edom, he's a low top 9, he's 23 years old. He might actually be bumped up to our second line just because he's a sniper and he's got a little bit of potential. Not really that great offensive stats, so Burrows might be on the second or third line there. Then you got Chris Higgins here, I don't like his contract. Although he is a sniper, he's got an okay shot, but I don't think he's really going to put up too many points. He's getting paid $2.5 million for the next couple years, so that's probably a contract that I'd like to get rid of. Right wingers, we got Radim Verbata, or Redeem the Dream, whatever you want to call him. Very solid offensive player, great second liner on a championship team. So, if we're going to rebuild, I don't know if he has a spot on this team, being 34 years old. Yannick Hansen, I know this guy's got a lot of speed. He's a grinder. He'd be a really good fourth liner, but he might end up being on our second line or even third. But yeah, solid player. I'd rather have him on the fourth line, but this team doesn't have a whole lot of depth. Derek Dorsett, he's a grinder. Does not have good defense though, unfortunately. Oh my God, look at that contract too. God, I'd like to get rid of him. $2.65 million for the next 4 years. That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. Defense. Yeah, Dan Hamuse up there on an expiring contract. He's 32 years old, 87 overall. Alexander Edler, 86, and he's 29. And Chris Tanev, I like this guy, 85 overall, defensive defenseman, 25 years old. He's a right-handed shot, too. He's very solid defensively. Will never be a top 2 guy for us, but definitely be a second-line guy and penalty kill guy for us. So I'm going to like him for the future. They got Hutton here. What's his name? Ben Hutton. I don't know too much about this guy. Defensively, he's okay. Definitely a top 6 guy, but on this team, he might be a top 4. So then Luka Sabisa. Ooh, God, look at his contract. Looking at his stats, he's not bad. Not a very good contract, though. And oh my God, look at Tanev's. He signed until 2020 and 2021 season. For $4.45 million. You know what? If he stays with us and he's solid for us, I'm fine with that contract. But Luka Sabisa's contract has got to go. Yannick Weber, he's a decent third-line defenseman, always offensive defenseman. He's not that good. Maybe an power play specialist, I guess, but don't expect him to stay on the team forever. Matt Bartkowski, I remember he was a prospect in Boston's system. Still rocking that Boston jersey. Has not done much for Vancouver. His role is minor league top 2. Yeah, don't expect him to be on the team after this year. And Alex Bija, a 72 overall player. Jesus, he is bad. I don't even know why he is on this team. And then in net, Ryan Miller. You know who he is. 86 overall, 35 years old. He's got one good year left in him. That's all I'll say. And Jacob Markstrom, I'd like to get him some time so he could develop into an 83 or 84. He'd be a really good backup for us then, but he will never be a starter for us. Now going to the minor league roster, we're going to take a look at the depth that we have and see any prospects that that we really have. Granlund, who is this guy? Marcus Granlund, wow. Okay, he's got really good puck skills. 79 overall playmaker, top 6. He could become a good second line guy for us. It all depends on his development. He needs to just develop the right way, and I think he could be a good player for us. Jared McCann, I believe he was on the roster this year. Not exactly sure what he's doing in the minors. Maybe he's hurt right now, or is just sent down because Utica made the playoffs. I'm not exactly sure there, but very solid guy. Could be a second line guy. Could be a third line guy. Just has to develop correctly. I like to see his defense get a little better. Castles, 20 years old, top 6 forward. Don't really know much about this guy either. I mean, he's just got to develop. He's 69 overall, 20 years old. He's still got plenty of time. Zukhanov. God, I cannot pronounce this guy's name. Dmitry Zukhanov. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Playmaker, 18 years old, bottom 6 forward. I mean, we'll see if he develops, if his potential grows. He has a good chance of being on the team, second line, third line guy, but I don't expect too much from him. Going over to the left wing, You got Brandon Pruss down here. He's probably going to be moved up. Just because he can add a little grit to the team. And I think we have a spot there where we could put him. Kennins, he's 24 years old. He's a grinder. So maybe he could become a fourth line guy for us in the next couple of years. But that defense would have to get a lot better. Sven Bartschy. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Not this guy. I remember when he was with Calgary. And there was so much potential around him. I don't know what happened. But he's with Vancouver now. He's 77 overall. He's got low top 6. Hopefully he can get better, but I'm not gonna bank on it. Brendan Gaunce for the he's 74 overall. He's got top 9 potential, two-way forward. Probably could be a good third line guy for us. Don't really have too much to say about him either. Then there's a couple more guys down there. Let's go over to the right wing position. Jake Virtanen, 77 overall, top 6 forward. He's a sniper. I think he can become a good second liner for us. I mean, I would love for him to be a 90 overall guy one day, but I just don't think he has it in him. It doesn't say he's a fourth line forward, so I might have to call him up for this year. Who is this guy? Antoine Rodin, 24 years old. He's 71 overall. He's got top 9 potential, though. I don't think he'll develop into anything just because he's a little old. But who knows? Maybe he'll get a jump. We don't have too many forward prospects on this team, unfortunately. But, who is this guy? Top 4. Nikita Triamont. God, I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. I don't know this guy's name. Nikita Triamkin. That's the best I got. He's got top 4 potential. 80 overall, 21 years old, 6'7". He's a big boy. He's looking like a good 87 overall defenseman in the future for us. Okay, I have to admit, I know you're looking down here right now. You see Jordan Subban with elite potential. I did go ahead and change up some potentials for players all around the league, so you'll see different players getting good and different players not being as good. Like Jordan Subban was one of them that I bumped up, and that was before that I decided to pick Vancouver. Like I bumped up. There's a guy for Boston. I bumped down Jonathan Drouin's potential. There's some of them that I tweaked. I tweaked them for almost every team in the league. I usually picked one guy, and Jordan Subban I actually bumped up. He was top 4 potential, something like that. I bumped it up to elite. So yeah, I didn't know I was gonna pick Vancouver at the time, just to clear anything up. But Jordan Subban, he's got elite potential. He's 20 years old, so he's only 62 overall, so he has a lot of growing to do. I don't know if he will actually reach his potential, because so many guys that are better than him, he probably won't get playing time. We got Andre Padan, the defensive Datsuk, out here too. 22 years old, potential 7th defenseman. So I don't know if he'll become anything. Cedar Holm, 7th defenseman, potential. Yeah, I can't really say anything about him. He's got no offense. Who's this guy? Carl Neal, 19 years old, 70 potential. It's high, so I'd like to see that grow. That'd be nice. I got a bunch of 7th guys here too. And then for goaltender prospects, none. Richard Bachman, he's 28 years old. He's not going to get any better. And then this guy, AHL starter, I don't expect him to get any better. He's 25. So Vancouver does not have too many prospects. So I think we're going to have to rebuild and start from the bottom up. But if you guys want me to just go ahead and try and make the playoffs from here, just let me know. And just before I let you guys go, I want to take a look at some of the other potentials that I bumped. Like Tampa Bay, we'll go ahead and show off Drouin. Like Drouin, I bumped down to top 6 instead of it being elite. There's a couple others. I'm not going to go ahead and search for them, but I just wanted to show a quick changed them around just so you could see, excuse me, just so you could see a couple different things. But anyway, that is how everything is looking. We'll take a quick look at the lines. You guys can tell me how you want them, and I am very excited for this. So let me know what you want the lines to be. Let me know if I should make any moves. Just let me know what you guys think of all this. And until next time then, I'll see ya.